Gallo, KC Thunder. Mark, just wanted to see what you made of the way that your team responded to having them kind of slice back into your lead, and then you guys having to go out and execute in those final 18 minutes or so.
Yeah, it was a slog, pace-wise tonight. I thought for both teams. So it came down to execution. I thought when we built that lead in the third, we really took our foot off the gas competitively, and then we had some clutch plays defensively, especially the charge taking. Took 4, I think, all in the second half. Those were really big plays for us, especially in a grinded-out type game. And then good execution down the stretch, just getting shots and getting into offense, executing, and moving the scoreboard with a lead.
Yeah, and then without Lou down the stretch, you guys talked about individual pride for every player. What was it like for you seeing guys maybe have to step into slightly different crunch time roles without him on the floor and get the job done?
Yeah, I mean, I thought DeRozan got it going there in the second half against everybody, especially with the free throws. So he was tough to slow down. I thought right at the end we were able to get a grip on that, but like I said, he was tough in the second half. We needed everybody tonight. We get good lifts from the guys on the bench. It was a good win.
And then just that play that you guys can run out top with Isaiah as the screener, he doesn't always get a shot with that, but what does that start to unlock for the entire 5-man unit when you get that set going?
Just space, it's a space thing. He's just got great shooting gravity, shoots it with confidence, and so there's a lot of different ways you can play that, but you're reactive to him no matter how you play it. And Shea obviously with the ball at the top of the key, so it's been successful for us. They've really gotten a good chemistry with it. Teams obviously know it's coming, but we've got a lot of reps. Those two guys in particular have a lot of reps, so just something we can keep building on.
The charges just haven't been as big a part of your defense. I don't know if some of that is having a shot blocker and what would I wonder why you think there haven't been as many and what happened tonight that put you guys in those positions.
Well, K. Rich missed time. Jay Will missed time. And those guys are the charge guys. Isaiah is usually really good with that as well, but that's got something to do with it. Those guys are back out there. We've done a good job with paint protection, rim protection. We've tried to emphasize the same things. There's just certain times, certain seasons, there's different challenges, there's different strengths. We emphasize being there early, just as much this year as last year, but I would expect it to tick up a little bit with those guys back in the fray.
And then Shea was really good, obviously, he got to the line a lot. Some of the other guys, even Chet had a good, his numbers were good, his offense seemed a little off. What does it say maybe that you can have some other guys, Isaiah Joe steps up, Kenrich made some big shots, that you could just get some kind of contributions up and down the bench?
Yeah, we're going to need everybody, for different reasons. You can't just double down on the same guys every night, and if you do, defenses will start to scheme and take that out, and they'll make the other guys make plays, and so we need everybody to be confident. We need everybody to play the right way. I thought, we were good tonight, at the line as well. I thought the way the game got called tonight was a lot closer to the way that we expected it coming into the season. The way it was called last year, I thought the contact tonight was no different from the contact that we faced earlier this season, and they called the game a lot closer to what we're used to, with Shea in particular, but really with everybody. On both ends. DeRozan had however many free throws he had. How many do you have? 13? Yeah, I thought they called the game the way that we've come to expect.
Mark, it'll probably get lost in, down the stretch, all the offense, Shea's free throws, whatever, but the defensive possession where Chet gets the block on Pat Williams and the shot clock violation, just how pivotal was that, and I guess how often do you see him just blow up a possession like that, even in more subtle ways than that, maybe?
Chet? Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, first way he blows up possessions is he deters a lot of plays, which you really can't measure. There's a lot of plays where they just don't go in there, or they go in there to pass because he's down there. Thought there were examples of that tonight where they drove baseline and they're just looking at the weak side. They're not even looking at the rim because he's down there. And then he obviously goes and makes plays there. And I just thought generally in the game we got gritty in the last 15 minutes of the game. We kind of opened up a little bit of a lead again after they came back and tied it. And then we clamped down pretty good. I thought our focus was good. Everything they got was earned at that point for the most part. And I thought those plays, happened during that stretch. That was our best stretch of defense in the game.
For the people who scoreboard watch, just seeing 40 points from Shea, they just assume, he goes off. It's not a two-way performance, but Tonight it seems like he was very effective on both ends, just getting in passing lanes, just mucking things up. There aren't a lot of guys at the All-NBA level who play both ways. Can you just kind of quantify the value that is for a guy who can play elite on both ends?
Yeah, I mean, it's the game's 50% defense, and if those guys are on the court as much as he's on the court or anybody else, they're accounted for defensively in those possessions as well. It's not football where you just play quarterback. And to have a guy that's as engaged as he is, as smart as he is, he obviously gets his length into the game with his deflections and his blocks. And then, you know, he was a two-way player tonight, not just with the scoring. I thought he really took what they gave him in terms of early passes, getting his teammates involved. They started doubling him down the stretch. He made the early play, put us at advantages. I thought he had a really good floor game offensively aside from all the scoring.
Mark, you mentioned grittiness in those last 15 minutes. You guys have a team that can win in a pretty good-looking way offensively. You can do a lot of different things offensively. Is this I don't know if this is a team that people necessarily think of as gritty. Is it a way you think of your team?
Yeah, I mean, we really don't care what anybody else thinks of us. It's more internal. And it's really like we want to be a team that is a compete together team, and we got to put the compete in that phrase. And I think we've done that. You know, we got guys. There's a mental toughness to the team. There's a collective toughness to the team. There's a willingness to be physical. The Chargers are an example of that, but just touching guys up is an example of that. And I thought, you know, like we've had really good shooting games up to this point where the offense has really clicked because we've finished plays with a lot of made shots. And tonight that wasn't the case. Isaiah got it going late. K-Rich had some big threes, but collectively we didn't shoot it as well as we have. And so we needed to win a different way tonight. And to the credit of the guys, we found a way to do that.
Martin, Shea's been a pro for a while now, but the doubles, you mentioned the doubles at the end of the game, how he handled those, just as those get more aggressive and, you know, on a night where he's having 40, 30, just how have you seen him deal with those, and how have you seen the units he's in the game with deal with those when you know, to take the ball out of his hands?
Well, it's something we worked on a lot, you know, in the past. You know, we worked on it last season. When the first game where it really like bothered us, we were up big at Toronto a couple of years ago. We ended up winning the game. Muscala hit a three, sprayed it to Muscala for a three, but I think we were up like 17 in that game, and they pressed us everywhere, and we were pretty unorganized. You know, from my standpoint, not well coached, and we weren't prepared well enough for that. Both structurally and our guys weren't prepared well enough for it, and we really started working on it. I thought that was kind of a tipping point for us, where we realized, all right, like he's going to start seeing this a lot, and if we don't handle it better than this, he's going to see it even more. And so this is, you know, years in the making in terms of understanding how to attack it from a tactical standpoint, and then understanding how to attack it from him and the team. And so we worked on a lot in training camp. Obviously, it happened a ton to him in FIBA as well, so that tells you, you know, when everybody around the world is doing it, you know it's going to be a tactic. And we've tried to get really good at attacking it and making it a dilemma for teams if they want to do that. And I thought the attacks tonight were a good example of that.
Thank you, Coach.
Hey, real quick, just a happy Thanksgiving to you guys. Appreciate all your coverage, obviously, to you and your families, and then to our fans. Really, really grateful for the support. We hope everybody has a great day tomorrow. Thanks.